The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon. I almost said good morning. Boy, it's been a fast day. This is Cammie Aaron from NCDPI. I do want to welcome you to the first home-based meetup for learning.com. We're going to wait a couple more minutes for people to join. I lost my little attend. There it is. I do want to check that you guys that are on right now can hear us. So if you've been on go to webinar before, you have hands that you can raise up. So if you can hear me, please raise your hand. Let me get to the next slide and that'll show where you can find that. I see some hands going up. All right, I'm going to put those hands down. All right, and if you can see the screen and it's got go to webinar housekeeping and we're doing our little check for sound, can you raise your hand again?
Cammie, you're going to need to unpause your screen.
That's true. Thank you much. All right. Thank you. That's why I check. All right. So if you can hear the screen, see the screen, please raise your hand. I don't see any hands going up. Did they lose sound?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there they go. All right. So if you can see the screen, we're raising our hands. I see a couple going up. All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right, I see a couple people I need to make organizers. All right, give me just 1 minute. All right, checking through the list. We still got people logging in. All right, I'm going to put everybody's hands down. All right, so I think it is time to start. It is 1 o'clock, so we will get started. We may need to go back and forth a little bit as other people join. We had close to 20 signed up. We have about 5 online right now. So again, I am Cammie Aaron. I'm with NCDPI, the digital teaching and learning team for the home-based product of NESIS, the teacher evaluation system, and learning.com. And joining me today, and I'll let Tiffany introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. It's Tiffany Kenney. I'll share my webcam here. There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm the state program manager for learning.com and excited to be here today and want to thank Cammie and our home-based partners for allowing me the opportunity to present today. So, hi.
All right, thank you, Tiffany.
Yes.
I see another person to make an organizer. All right. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everyone. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but if I unmute you all, please mute yourselves. And then you can talk when you have a question. We'll talk about where you can enter questions in the questions panel in just a second. Let me try that. All right, so I've just unmuted everybody. Looks like most people have already self-muted, so that's great. All right, so our slides today, for the opening slides, you'll see the bit.ly on the screen where it says opening slide deck. The bit.ly is bit.ly/HBMU APR20, and that's all lowercase. That link is also in the chat panel. And then we're asking you guys, although we have record of you logging into GoToWebinar, especially if you have other people in the room, share this bit.ly above and please sign in. And that's bit.ly/, and this is case sensitive, April HBMU sign in. So those links are in the chat as well. So I'll be giving just a minute for you to look at the slide if you need to. And we'll move on in just a second. We only have an hour. All right. All right, we'll try to monitor questions as we go. Well, my slides will move. All right, we did the check for the sound. I did also include some information. If you're having trouble hearing, you don't have any sound, The easiest thing to do is probably just to try to log out and log back in. Make sure you choose either computer or phone audio when you're logging in. Or if you're in and you've done all that, there's a troubleshooting guide there as well. And questions, there's an area on your panel that either says questions or it says questions/chat. And that's where you can enter your typed in questions. And then are there documents? Yes, we've linked some PDFs of today's slides in the handouts area, so you can find those there. Okay, I don't see any questions coming in yet. Rob Detrick, our new home-based manager, we're so glad to have him. He had to run to another meeting, but he's going to try to join us later, so I will introduce you later to Rob. And just a reminder that we are doing home-based meetups all week. We just got done with a Power School session today, and it was really awesome. We had SchoolNet yesterday, and on Monday we had Nieces, and we will be posting all of those recordings. Right now we're doing learning.com, so yay. I'm glad you guys are here today, and tomorrow will be Canvas, if you guys handle any of that or want to share that with your Canvas people. And Friday will be Go Open NC. Awesome resources for your teachers there, so please do join that one as well. All right, and since we only have 11 people on, does anybody want to introduce yourselves and tell us where you're from today? Since we're brand new to home-based meetups, we'd love to get to know you. I'm going to call on you in the list, and if you'd like to unmute and say hi, please do. So I see Anita Martin. There you go. You can talk, Anita. So I see Anita's unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything. All right. And we also have Audrey Long. Audrey's with DPI.
Hello.
Hey, Audrey. And then I see.
How you doing?
Thank you for joining.
Uh-huh.
All right. How about Kathy Easton?
Hello,
Hey, Kathy, where are you from?
from Gates County.
Thank you for joining. Gina Hutchins. Gina's quiet. All right, let's try Jennifer Burns. Would you like to say hi? She looks like she's from Alamance, Burlington. And I see a Karen Cook. Would you like to unmute and say hi?
I'm Karen Cook from Swain County Schools.
Hey, Karen, nice to have you. And then we have Latasha Hawkins. And looks like Latasha is Northampton. Lindsay Skidmore, would you like to say hi?
Hello, this is Lindsay Skidmore, Digital Learning and Technology Support Specialist in Duplin County.
Hey, nice to have you here. I see Rob is here. Let me make him an organizer. Rob, do you want to say hi?
Hey. I'm sorry I was a little bit late.
That's okay. We're just getting started. Since we're brand new, we're kind of introducing ourselves right now. And then let's see, where was I, Rob? Tamara Easter, would you like to say hi?
Hi, Tamara Easter, Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools.
Thank you, Tamara. And then we have Winnie Lemec. And I hope I'm saying your names right. Winnie, I see you're unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything right now. Looks like she's with Southern Wake or Southeastern Wake. I'm not sure which the S stands for. All right, we're glad to have everybody here. Just unmute as you want to. If you have a question, please do put the questions in the questions panel, and then we can recognize you as well. Looks like I've skipped ahead on the slides. So let me make sure we're where we're supposed to be. Okay. Rob, would you like to do this, or do you want me to do the opening slides?
No, I came in late. Why don't you continue? Thank you.
Okay.
All
right.
I'll jump in for Power School.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So here's our meetup schedule for 2021. We do want to have another virtual sessions in August. We haven't chosen the date, so we'd love your input on what dates might be good for you, because we know you're bringing your teachers on board, so you're very busy in August. And then September, November, just review those dates and get back to us. We looked at the calendars, we looked at a lot of the school calendars, and we chose these dates because we thought they fit best, but we do want your input on those dates that you see for next year. Home-based opt-in. So to opt into Homebased, to utilize the products, and when you opt in, you get SchoolNet and you get a PD office in the NESA system. The opt-in process is now delayed until May 15th. So just watch out for the news announcements about opt-in. They should be going out shortly. And then we have our North Carolina remote learning resources for you guys. So you guys know in the middle of March, we all had to go work remote. And I'm so proud of our team. We pulled together, and I have some awesome coworkers that have bundled all these resources and links out here for you. Please do share these with your teachers and with your administrators. And they get updated very often. So please go out here and check those remote learning resources. And I'll turn it over to Rob for Power School.
Thanks, Cammie. As everyone here is probably aware, we completed an upgrade of Power School on April 18th, and they can now go back and transfer their student records. We have some quick links there as to what's new for admins and teachers. Please view those. They do a good job of listing what all those changes are. Next slide, please. The Eddy feed has been disabled, so please know that don't enter any changes in Eddy for 2021 until after July 1, 2020. Of course, the exception to that is new schools opening next year, and those can be updated as needed. If you have a school that's not going to reopen, you need to enter a closing date for that school in Eddy now. Sorry if you hear the 5-year-old in the background. Eddy will close at noon on June 30 to prepare for the rollover to the 2021, and will reopen on July 1st. We have communicated that out, but just for those of you who are unaware of that, next slide, please. EOI process is scheduled for June 30, 2020 at 5 p.m. We are working right now to try to make sure that that is a smooth process for everyone involved. Please make sure that there are the right EOI contacts, and we are changing the process a little bit this year. We are looking at possibly a July 2nd start. So when we tell people we can push the button at 8 o'clock, we will literally push the button at 8 o'clock and not have to wait half a day before we can do it. So we will keep you posted on that. We're still working internally to see if that's okay to do. Next slide, please. You want to take that, Cammie, or you want me to?
You can take that one, and I'll take the next.
All right, sounds good. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
That's right. The Go Open NC, we are very proud of this from Digital Teaching and Learning. This is our open platform where teachers can collaborate, create, see materials that they can use in their classrooms. And since this episode has started, this has doubled in size, if not more. I want to thank Pam for everything that she has done to make this a really good product. And we actually have a session on Friday for Go Open North Carolina. So please make sure you attend to see it, and go to the link that we have in the slide. That's Go Open North Carolina Toolkit to see all the wonderful things that it could do for you and your teachers through this remote learning time we're in. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. All right, so home-based updates for NESIS. The evaluation system is going to be that same day, June 30th, 2020. We will archive all the plans beginning at 5 p.m. on that date. Do watch out for communication, because as you know, people went home in March, so we're working on a communication from DPI and the legislature on what to do with those remaining plans that are unfinished. You can complete your PDPs. You can complete any plan that has met all the observation requirements, only those plans that have met all observation requirements, and that summary is open. So any questions on that, just send to me if you have any further questions on that. All right, learning.com, just a quick review, since we are going to go into our slides later in just a sec. Implementation funding does end for the school year. Any monies you receive for this school year need to be used this school year for supporting your learning.com implementation. Contract pricing will remain the same for the next year. And then we are analyzing a survey that we put out to all our state users about a satisfaction and usage of that system for our administrators. So we will get back to you on that. If you have any other questions, we have Tiffany here today, and you guys should be very familiar with Tiffany. There's her email if you have any questions for her. Our Imagine Math initiative also was this year. We have 52 pilot sites in North Carolina. They've seen an average of 2 years of math growth, which has been very awesome. So there's links down below if you want to learn more about either one of those products, if you're on here and you're not using either of those systems. At the end of the day, we would love for you to provide feedback, and this link will also be in our other slides. Those of you that are just joining, the slides and the links, the slides are in the handouts and the links are in the chat. So please do utilize those to follow along if you would like. All right. And there's our team. I'm very proud of our team. They work very hard for you guys every day. So we're going to move on to, that's all for our opening slides. Rob, did you want to add anything before we move on?
No, I think I'm okay. The one thing that is there, Justin was going to post the link for the Power School slides because we shared some information we didn't want them to get ahead of time.
Right.
We'll make sure it's there pretty soon.
Okay. That sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I do see a question from Karen. It looks like we've received professional development funds but have been unable to use them. Will these carry over? The funds do not carry over, Karen, but we'll get a communication out to your finance directors probably later this week or early next week. So watch for that communication. All right, so we're going to pop over to learning.com. And I'll present this. I'm going to turn off my webcam. I wanted y'all to see me because I've never seen a lot of you. So hopefully when we can get out and about, then we can see each other and put some names with faces and faces with names. So let's see here. Okay. All right. So learning.com. There's your bit.ly for these slides. It's bit.ly/LCOM HBMU APR 2020. And they are lowercase letters. And again, the link is in your chat. So we'll skip over this. Remember, if you're having any audio issues, those links are in your chat too. And there's Rob. If y'all haven't seen Rob, there's a picture of Rob, and you can read over that later. We're so glad to have Rob here. He's been an awesome leader for us and getting our team. We got a full team now, so we're so pleased. The reason we meet is to foster a positive, productive relationships with our stakeholders, you guys. So we bring information to you. You bring us your questions and any information you want for us. And we provide that collaborative time and problem solving and networking. So we hold these quarterly, and we hope we can continue to do this for the next year. So I'll go over a couple slides, and then we're going to turn it over to Tiffany in just a minute. So learning.com, we've got the number of licenses provisioned statewide is 119,646 students. That's the potential number of students that could be in the system. 47 of our Tier 1 districts took advantage of that K-8 digital literacy initiative and purchased learning.com through funds provided from DPI and the state. And then of those, that equates into 301 schools. So currently, we've rostered about 90,539 student accounts. And then, of course, each district from that number has determined what students are actually getting into the system. But you can look at the screenshot and see how many LEAs and what part of the regions are currently using learning.com and how many charters with the circle. The Innovative School is our online school, and it's kind of housed in Wake County, but I don't have the red circle on the map, but because students from all over can go to the Innovative School. And then student usage, this was shared from learning.com. So Tiffany, if you want to jump in, that's fine. We have 38 districts out of 47 qualified to use from the Tier 1s in the system. Is that right, Tiffany? Let her jump on.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Could you repeat the question, Cammie?
Yeah, this slide here. Do you want to talk more because these numbers? Because these are numbers you guys supplied.
Yeah. So right here you will see just some student usage data and changes over month to month, starting with we provided the last 3 months. So student accounts created means the total number of accounts in the platform. So that you'll see, you know, how that has grown slightly from January through March, up to about 90,000, a little over 90,000 accounts. And student count, you'll see that means those that have logged in at least once into our learning.com platform. So those numbers reflect that. And then of course that number change over month, and then we track the percentages of change in month over month.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course student logins, you'll see those are the number of logins that that month. So that will include numerous logins from the student count. And I will also say that since January, we have definitely seen a spike in our usage. We definitely had some usage before then, but really January and February were really good months for us. And then student content launches, that's every time a student launches our curriculum items in our platform. And then the average content launches per student, that's very important. And those numbers are great, 23, 22, 27. Those are really awesome. Efficacy studies show that anything 20 or above content launches averages is where you want to be to really make sure that instruction, digital skills are being used with fidelity. So those are really great numbers.
Okay. Thank you, Tiff. So what's coming next for 2021? Just a reminder again that the implementation funding for Tier 1 ends with this school year. Watch for news about how next year's going to look. We don't have that communication yet, but it will be going out hopefully before the end of school. And then the convenience contract pricing is the $750 per student or the $3,200 per site. And then we had 97 respondents, so thank you guys that responded to the learning.com surveys. 27 of those responding were our Tier 1s that took advantage of the K-8 Digital Literacy Initiative. All right, so this is, I don't know if everybody's familiar with this, but we usually do a Padlet. And I'm going to click on there, so I do need to put this link in the chat so that you can get to the Padlet if you don't have the slides. You do that right now. So I want to hear what your successes and challenges are. All right, there it go. Make sure it went yes. So I'm going to click here so you can see what it looks like. So think about what's been going on with learning.com. What has been successful for you? You're going to click on the plus sign. You can put in a title or you can put your whole answer in the title. And then you can click in here and put a comment. Once a comment is posted, other people can star it or they can comment on your sticky note. So I'm going to give you just a minute. I'm hoping you guys can participate in this or would like to participate in this. We do take this back and review what you are telling us. What's been a success? What's been a challenge? And is there anything that I at DPI or Tiffany at learning.com we can take back as an action item? So I'm going to give you just a minute to access that link. And hopefully we'll see some comments coming in. I'll give you just 1 minute. Got a few people that said they're listening as they're driving, so you probably can't be entering anything. But hopefully we got to have some online that can. Yeah, and you can post anonymously, or if you want us to get back with you, put your name in there, or if you want us to recognize you to talk about your comment, then just let us know. Okay. It looks like the typing has kind of slowed down, but you can still be entering while we're talking. And do unmute yourself if you'd like to comment on the sticky note as I read it. That's fine. So one of the successes reported was they love how easy it is for the kids to use and love the interactive part of the program. Yeah, from what I've seen, when I had got to go in there and see what the modules actually were, I think it's very interactive. So I'm glad the kids are enjoying that. And Tiffany, you can comment too if you like. Another success is students and teachers love it, and the students are easily engaged. That's great. And then I'll wait for that other one to come in, and we'll pop over to challenges while we're waiting for the other ticket to come in. Now, one challenge is too many other new initiatives in the district at the same time, so could never get buy-in from the school admin to mandate any sort of use. So we do understand that, yes. So there's a lot of systems out there and initiatives going on in the districts. So hopefully you can relook at that for next year. And then the other success that came in is that everyone who does use it loves it. So I know Tiffany's glad to hear that. And then the other challenge is funding, not knowing if funding will be available or will continue. Agree with the funding issue. It was more difficult to get buy-in when there was no guarantee to have the program going forward. Yes, we'll take that back. We do realize that. It looks like we have one more coming in. All right, and then if anybody wants to speak to anything, you can unmute yourself. I'll be perfectly glad to stop and let you talk. Another challenge was various levels of uptake. So for me, I would need some more information on that. Tiffany, do you understand that?
Maybe they're talking about just getting started, challenges of professional development, resources available at the districts or schools. Not quite sure.
Okay. Oh, they're gonna add.
Yes. So yes, maybe having pockets of schools.
Yeah.
Really, yes, engage in learning.com, whereas some other schools in the district perhaps may have not really engaged in it like the others.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for participating in that little Padlet. I think these are good comments and definitely ones that we need to take back to our team. Let's get back out here. All right. So let me make Tiffany our presenter. That's on my side. Let me get here. There we go.
All right. Let me get over to, okay. All right, so hi everyone. Now you should see my screen that says implementation models. And I also wanted to say, you know, if you need to have some more time on the Padlet, I would love to read your comments. I'm sure Cami and DPI would too. So if you need to go back and add more to those successes, challenges, or action items, we can always go back and refer to those as well. So please continue to add to that. And that really helps both of us out, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I am going to just, let's see, I'm going to make my webcam available briefly for those of you that do not know me. Hi, everyone. And my name's Tiffany Kenney. Some of you didn't hear the intro earlier. And I'm the state program manager here with learning.com. And I have been with learning.com for eight months now, which, wow, time flies. And prior to that, like Cami said, I was part of the DPI family as a home-based trainer. I also served as a ed tech consultant for Pearson and also a classroom teacher right here in North Carolina. So, and I reside right outside of Raleigh. So that is enough about me. But one of my roles is to, of course, oversee and assist customers with the implementation and training needs with learning.com. All right, so hi everyone. All right, I'm going to turn my webcam off so I have a little more real estate on my screen. Okay. All right, great. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the implementation models. And again, thank you, Cami, for sharing all that information up front. And she shared the participation and usage across the state. So I wanted to share with you the common implementation models I have seen in North Carolina during this year one of implementation. So a little background, many districts and charter schools had an implementation planning meeting, ideally at the beginning of the school year. And so I could help support their use of our digital skills curriculum. So after the public school unit identifies their technology goals for the school year, I would help identify where Easy Tech, our curriculum, might fit into your existing educational environment and who is leading that instructional time. So on this slide, you're going to see some of those common implementation models that identifies the who. So I started off with media specialists and coordinators. I do know that, and it looks like Anita's on the line from Wayne County. I know that we trained and worked with their media specialists, and also Nash Rocky Mount schools went with this kind of implementation model to start off with. But you know, media specialists seeing a group of students once a week or in their resource rotation, they used our curriculum, including lessons and application exercises and so forth. And some of those popular lessons, as I've traveled and looked at the data, have been online safety and digital citizenship, keyboarding, and research strategies in that kind of model. And then we have, of course, our classroom teachers and integration into the core subject areas. And I know Rutherford County started with training their teachers with this model in mind. So maybe led by a certified teacher and integrating into the core areas. So examples of this would be like in your grades, maybe 3 through 5, your students need to use a spreadsheet to collect and organize data into tables, graphs, and charts. So students would use like the spreadsheet unit that we have in our curriculum to guide them through the basic navigation and tools in our spreadsheet software. So we do have specific curriculum items that teaches those skills, like navigating cells and rows and columns in spreadsheets. So so also apply what they're learning. So integration into the core. And then of course our computer lab, like technology teachers using learning.com, as well as other curricular in their computer lab. So you know, I've also learned that you know, some school districts don't have computer lab or technology teachers any longer, but there are some that do. So I've seen that. And then lastly, CTE. I see that Warren County is, Mr. Ernie is on the line, and I know that they have been using learning.com as their CTE curriculum, even before the digital literacy initiative came about. So they've been using us for several years. So that is, of course, an implementation model we have seen using our curriculum into CTE. All right. Any questions regarding implementation models?
Don't see any questions coming in right now, Tiff.
Yep. Okay. And just 3 things I want you to like keep in mind with implementation. Number 1, implementation can look different in each district and charter school. Okay. And number 2, it evolves as teachers and students become more comfortable with the curriculum. And then number 3, year 1, as we are, you know, completing now, often looks much different than year 2 and 3 and so on. So I also work with South Carolina districts, so their districts, their implementation looks a lot different because they're about into year 4, I think, with learning.com. So implementation years also look much different from year to year. All right. Okay. And briefly, I wanted to talk and remind those that are familiar with learning.com that I wanted to highlight our integrations, that we do integrate with Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoolology, Power School, and also coming soon, and this will be ready for the upcoming school year, is One Roster ClassLink. So just wanted to remind you that our curriculum can be used and integrated with those.
And Tiffany, I did see on the Padlet somebody was having trouble with their Canvas integration.
Okay.
They have a support. Who do they email for support?
Yes, so our support team is support@learning.com. And then, if they want to copy me on that too, so I can continue to follow that through, that would be great. But support@learning.com.
Thank you.
There are some steps for that integration. All right. So our attendance for our webinar participation and feedback has been really great. It's been growing. We've received a lot of positive feedback. So the numbers on the first graph, you're going to see represents the spring webinars I conducted based on a professional development survey that was sent back late fall. And I ended up adding actually 3 more webinars in April based on feedback, and had great responses for those. And the second graph is showing that the participation we had just last week at the NC Learns Together event. We had well over 400 attend learning.com sessions. I presented twice. And those attending that event were a combination of current customers, but the majority were non-subscribers. Still, overall, very positive feedback. And during that time, and I'm going to do this today, is to share free resources, including lesson plans, and what we call the digital skills playlist, which is now available to both our customers and non-customers. So if you are a current learning.com subscriber, you have already received your unique district link to the digital skills playlist, whereas our non-subscribers, you're going to have a chance to try this out, and you're going to see that later in the presentation. So some of you may just want to, you're learning more about learning.com and you want to see some of our lessons in action, you will have the ability to do so. And so we had a total of 549 participants attend some sort of webinar that we've had since February. So I think this is great and very positive news. Okay. So end of year, transitioning school years. Do not worry, it doesn't look anything like Power School end of year process, but there are some recommendations that I would like to share. Coordinators and teachers, we recommend downloading reports as part of your end of year checklist. And this is just so you'll have a copy of your data. And it is my understanding that coordinators will have access to 2 full school years prior, plus the current year when they access their reports. So our end of year date is it is June 30th. And I have included a link that will take you out to the support site that highlights things to consider when transitioning school years. So it's going to tell you and make recommendations for end of year reporting recommendations for coordinators and also teachers. So they are outlined here, and also roster and class changes. And I'll talk a little bit about that here in just a minute, and also lesson scores from year to year. And I have linked that into today's presentation. So going back to the presentation, so those recommendations outlined for roster and class changes, generally speaking, if you are a synced district, so you're Power School and you're using Clever to sync, those changes to the roster and sync classes that are made in Power School will be sent over to learning.com. However, I do have a lot of districts who manage users in learning.com manually. So you have uploaded your student and teacher accounts using our user import tool. And you did that, most of you did that at the beginning of the year. So of course you got to consider teachers will need to be cleaned up, and we recommend a new import each year to make sure they match those teachers match their schools, like if they have moved or removed teachers that are no longer part of that district. So again, more on that on our support site. And I will also be sending out a communication that highlights things to consider within the next few weeks. And one thing about lesson scores, they are designed to stick with the student. So, and we do allow the option to transfer scores from one class to another. But I will have, again, I'll have a communication that highlights all this as well. And then the last bullet point on this page is professional development. I know that many of you may not be quite there yet. That's okay. But be thinking maybe about your PD for next school year and what that might look like. Certainly, I know that that could work or look very different, and schools may not be allowing face-to-face or on-site training because of the current situation. But as a reminder, we do offer virtual trainings. And we are working on another teacher self-paced on-demand training course to be offered prior to the start of school. So multiple options there. And I will be sending out another survey within the next few weeks to gather training needs. So just kind of wanted you to think about what that would look like as far as next year goes. And just so you know, it's part of the convenience price as well, and the tier 1 funding, all the professional development is included, so it's unlimited. So and I do a lot of those trainings myself. Okay, any questions with end of year, especially to those that you know, are current users as well?
No, I'm not seeing any questions. So those of you that are listening, if you have questions, there is a questions panel or questions section on your panel. Do enter your questions there. Thanks, Tiff.
Okay, yeah. So I'm really excited to share with you some new features and updates. And I have also linked that document at the very top of the slide deck. And some of these features have already been released. But I'm just going to talk briefly about these that are coming and are happening now. We have a partnership with Common Sense Media, and so we have new K-12 online safety content, and I'm going to actually show you that in just a minute. We are working on expanded Easy Tech K through 2 lessons as well, so for more lessons for the littles. We have new adaptive keyboarding games. Those have already been released. I know Duplin County is celebrating in the background because I know they were one of the districts asking me when some new games are going to come out. So yay for that. They are already released in our platform. We do have some coding enhancements for both K2 block-based coding, middle school, Python. We are also, we have been K-8 for quite some time now, since the beginning in 1999 when we got started, but we are also moving into high school. So there is a 1-page document here that highlights digital literacy for high school, which includes new, new resources, and let me escape out of that. Here we go. What's coming in high school as well. So keyboarding, that's already in there, the game, but online safety and digital citizenship, more coding, and also virtual robotics. Okay, so I've included all those links in there. And from here, cyber robotics curriculum for middle and high school. There is a 1-page, so you can read through what's coming this coming year, and we have partnered with coders to deliver those virtual robotics programs. So make sure you read through that. And then gamification. And one thing I will say, that the areas that have the asterisk beside it, those are not included in the DPI convenience contract, the K-8 digital literacy initiative. However, those can be added as a school district. So if your school district was interested in that, you know, it could be added for an extra cost. So you're going to want to make sure you check out all the new features here highlighted in this document, and it just goes into more detail, so you know what's coming. All right, and it highlights all of those at the very top. Okay. So again, like I said, some of these features have already been completed, which includes the next slide. We, in a partnership with Common Sense Education, we have added new online safety and digital citizenship content items, and those include over 50 new items. And this is integrated directly with our Easy Tech curriculum. And I want to show you where to find this. You know, some of you may have not even seen this because it is new. But if you go into your curriculum, again, this is what it looks, those of you that are new to learning.com, this is what it looks like if you log in as a teacher. And I'm going to go to my library tile and show you how to get to the Common Sense Education online safety content by digital skill, and it has its own little tile right here. So digital citizenship curriculum, really excited about this partnership. I'm not sure how many of you today are using Common Sense Education already in your schools, but it is integrated into our curriculum, and it's just a wonderful resource, and different topics. So the only thing you would have to do is click view. And if you wanted to, let's say, work with your students on media balance and well-being, you can go through here and view the lessons before you assign it to your students. So I can choose this one, We the Digital Citizens, and click view. And then it's going to take me out, and this is, of course, as a teacher, what it looks like as a teacher. So it's going to include the entire lesson plan, and key vocabulary, what's included, the slides, the songs, the videos, and so really great stuff here. If you haven't had a chance to see what's in there, so really cool stuff here. All right, and each new lesson does include a auto-scored quiz to check for understanding. And I did put in the notes section a link to more on the partnership with Common Sense Education. All right. Any questions about the new features and our new online safety content?
No new questions yet.
Okay, great.
All right, and then we've got about 12, 13 minutes.
Okay, I can do it. So as you know, in August 2019, DPI adopted the ISTE standards for students as the North Carolina Digital Learning Standards. And next school year, 2021, these standards will be in the implementation phase. So the digital learning standards, keep in mind, are intended to be integrated across all content areas. So all teachers are responsible for incorporating them into their instruction. So I just wanted to highlight, this is just one slide, so you can see how our lesson, this is just one curriculum item, our lesson on online safety and digital citizenship. This is for grades 4 through 5. This is what a lesson would look like, just a screenshot of the lesson. And it just shows how learning.com supports the new requirement to teach those skills and standards. So this lesson, the curriculum item, would be cover the digital citizen digital learning standard. And then I've also included at the very top, you're going to see this is DPI's logo for the North Carolina Digital Learning Standards, and you can click on that to access all the standards here, so you can review the standards that will be implemented next year. So I wanted to quickly show you in our platform, right here. Let's go to digital skill. I'm just going to go to online safety and digital citizenship because I know it's very popular here. and really across the United States I'm teaching this. So you can click on the item type, any kind of item type, and then you can, as a teacher, see how this is tied to the standards. So right here, I clicked on standards. These are some national standards. Of course, our ISTE standards for students are already in there, and you can expand those. So you can see that that is, of course, what I just talked about, digital citizen. And then the North Carolina Standard Course of Study is already in there as well. And you can see as that lesson, that particular lesson I clicked on, how it's tied to those. Just know that the ISTE standards are already in there, and I have already put in a request to get the branding that says North Carolina Digital Learning Standards. They will be in there by back to school, but they are the ISTE standards for students, so keep that in mind as well. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to show you what that looked like. And another thing I'm very excited to share with you are digital skills playlists. Now, again, this has already been made available to our learning.com subscribers, but the great news is those of you that are not current learning.com subscribers, you're going to have access to this digital skills playlist. Actually starting today. It was just released last night. So a little bit about the digital skills playlist. It is a subset of our Easy Tech lessons. So our sequence curriculum items for each grade level K through 8, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Teachers do not have to assign content into classes, which is a perk for right now, of course, with our remote learning. And also students will not need login credentials either. So I'm going to show you this because I have done a couple of demos the past week on the digital skills playlist. So let me get there. Here we go. And this is what it looks like. So for district coordinators, you guys have already got the unique link. If you need help trying to find that link for your digital skills playlist, just let me know. It's on your coordinator dashboard. But those of you that want to, see, of course, this is not our complete curriculum, but these are just our lessons, and the lessons are self-guided. So the student would literally go to this link page, right? They would click on the grade level. So let's say that I am a 5th grader, and they can jump around if they want, and start working through these lessons. But you're going to see that we have a subset of all our Easy Tech lessons here. Okay. So again, no login credentials to remember, no class setup or rostering steps for your educators to go through. And I've heard a lot of great feedback. They said they like this option now, given the situation with everybody has moved to remote learning. They don't have to worry about their little ones trying to log in. And again, with our district coordinators, this link can be shared with your students, your parents. There's even parent resources up here to take note of. So, excuse me, digital skills at home curriculum, online safety guides, cyberbullying. We have it also the content in Spanish as well. So I encourage you to take a look at this. Those of you that are not current subscribers and you want to gain access to this, the only thing you need to do is you go to type in learning, www.learning.com, and then on our page, and right here, explore digital lessons. You know what? I actually am not seeing it, and I do apologize. I thought it was right here. I will get that information to you because I saw it this morning, and perhaps I don't have the right link. So, but if you're interested in gaining access for free, that is going to be available right now through June 30th. And I would expect it might be extended. So just hang on with that. But yes, June 30th right now. But if you stay on a little longer, because I'm gonna run out of time, I will share with you the correct link. Okay. All right. So that was the digital skills playlist. And remember, again, users will be untracked, so there's not going to be any scores associated with particular student names. It's not going to have the robust reporting that my district coordinators are used to. Maybe some basic usage data, like how many times your link has been accessed. Just keep that in mind, but it's a really great option for now and through the summer as well. Okay. All right. So another thing I wanted to briefly discuss is what's next with our digital literacy assessment. And those of you that are not familiar with this, this is something that in North Carolina, we haven't seen many districts use this. However, given that we are moving to teaching the ISTE standards for students, it is a great option to use. So it's called the DLA for short, the Digital Literacy Assessment, and it's an interactive learning.com assessment with 5th and 8th grade versions. It is aligned to and provide scores across the ISTE standards for students. So those of you that are using learning.com right now, you already have the ability to perform the DLA. There is a practice assessment in there, a vocabulary, and then the assessment itself included is a benchmark assessment, which is the pretest. And that is meant to be completed before your students start their digital literacy lessons for the year. And then at the end of the school year, they would complete the summative assessment. I've included a link at the very bottom for more on that. And I got permission from our vice president at learning.com, one of our vice presidents. And if you're interested in performing the DLA on your 5th and 8th grade students for free or no cost, you can even do a subset or proxy of your students if you wish to get a baseline of your students' understanding of the ISTE standards for students. Please let me know. This is an offer for any district or charter in the state of North Carolina. So just know that that offer is there if you are interested in this. It does not matter if you are a current user of learning.com. If you want to have access to the DLA assessments for your 5th and 8th grade students, just let me know and I have my contact information. And this would just be a good way to get a baseline of your students' understanding of the ISTE standards for students. So again, that offer goes to everybody, okay? All right. Any questions on the DLA?
No questions. You got 3 minutes.
All right. So great. So staying connected. Here's some how you can stay connected. We do have a virtual learning resources for distance learning, and I included that link as this is our dedicated webpage with those resources. There are also more free resources on this page, so please take a look at it. It does go over what lessons we have available and how to set up for success for remote learning. But if you want to as well, there are lesson plans on the site as well that you have access to. So just take a look, parent resources. These lesson plans are, you can click on there, online privacy. You can use these with your students. You do not have to be a subscriber. Okay. And then, of course, our information to learning.com, our support page. We have a editorial that's also free that you can subscribe to. And there is a computational thinking course that was just released last week. This is a free course. If you click on that link, it will take you, if you want to sign up. This is not really tied very loosely to learning.com. Again, it's free. So you don't have to be a subscriber. It's a 7-day email course, and it's designed to get educators start teaching computational thinking in any subject and grade. I put how to contact support there. So if you are a current user, just a reminder how to contact our support team. They're wonderful. And then my contact info. If you need to contact me, any questions you have today, I'm okay to stay on a little longer if you have any more questions or need me to demo something else, but that is how you would get in touch with me. And that is all I had, Cammie. If you want me to.
Do you just want to
Go
drive?
ahead.
Drive the
I
slides?
sure
I'll
can. I
talk to
sure
those
can.
last couple.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
There
right.
we go.
So again, here's just a reminder of the remaining meetups. So please do join us tomorrow for Canvas and Friday for Go Open and See. And next slide, please. And a reminder of the dates we'd like your input on for the next year's home-based meetups. Next slide, please. And then just a reminder, make sure you signed in today. We do have your record of the GoToWebinar, but if there's extra people in your room, please make sure everybody signs in. We will place a copy of this in the shared folder and make sure you get a copy of the recording today. And then next slide. And we do want to hear from you. So please do click that link and give us your feedback before you leave today. So I do appreciate everybody coming out today. I wonder if anybody on my team, Rob, or anybody has anything to follow up.
Thank you, Cammie, and thank you, Tiffany, for putting that together and making sure folks are staying connected during this time.
All right. So we're
Absolutely.
thank you. And thank you, Tiffany, for presenting that. Thank you guys that came out today to join us for our first ever Learning.com home-based meetup. So I think that was the last slide.
Yes,
Yeah.
and thank you, you guys, again for allowing me the opportunity to present today. Cammie, thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And Cammie, I have some extra time. I don't know what kind of
I have
schedule you're working on today.
Yeah, I have a 2 o'clock call and when I call right after that too. So
Okay.
we'll work
All
it
right.
out.
Well, how about this? If you have any questions and you want the access to the digital skills playlist, I know it's supposed to be on our corporate site, but I also can get that link to you for those of you that want to try it out. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tiff.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. So we're going to say goodbye. Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you.